Welcome to Health 2660. Here we don't just talk about health, we tell the stories that heal. Now please listen to the story. Emma stared at her reflection, the pale face staring back, barely resembling the vibrant woman she once knew. 35 a year, after giving birth to her beautiful daughter Lily, and yet she felt like a shadow of her former self. The joy of motherhood was undeniable, a love so profound it ached. But the physical toll had been relentless. The exhaustion was bone deep, a constant companion that clung to her even after a supposedly full night's sleep. If you could call the fractured hours between Lily's feedings and her own restless tossing and turning sleep, the stubborn weight clung to her like a second skin, defying all attempts at healthy eating and moderate exercise. Before Lily, Emma had always been relatively active, enjoying hiking and yoga. Now, even a short walk left her breathless and aching. Her once thick, lustrous hair was thinning clumps coming out in the shower, leaving her feeling self-conscious and increasingly distressed. And then there was her skin, once clear and radiant, now plagued by dryness, sensitivity, and the occasional, unwelcome breakout. She'd tried countless creams and lotions, but nothing seemed to make a lasting difference. But perhaps the most insidious change was the subtle shift in her mood. The joy of motherhood was often overshadowed by a persistent undercurrent of anxiety and irritability. Small things that wouldn't have bothered her before now felt monumental, triggering disproportionate reactions. She found herself snapping at her husband Mark, who was unfailingly supportive, and then feeling guilty and ashamed afterwards. She knew she wasn't being fair to him, but she couldn't seem to control the emotional roller coaster she was on. She'd visited her doctor multiple times, desperately seeking answers. The standard postpartum checkups had revealed nothing alarming, just the usual platitudes about adjusting to motherhood and getting more rest. But Emma knew something was fundamentally wrong. She wasn't just tired, she was depleted. She wasn't just experiencing normal hormonal fluctuations. She felt profoundly imbalanced. Finally, after pushing for more extensive testing, the results came back. Her thyroid function was mildly underactive, and her cortisol levels were elevated. The doctor explained that these imbalances were common after pregnancy, but they could certainly contribute to her symptoms. She was prescribed a low dose of thyroid medication and advised to manage her stress levels through relaxation techniques. Emma started the medication hoping for a miracle cure, but weeks turned into months, and while she noticed a slight improvement in her energy levels, the other symptoms persisted. The weight remained stubbornly resistant. Her hair continued to thin, her skin remained sensitive, and her mood swings continued to plague her. She felt frustrated and defeated. One particularly low afternoon, while Lily was napping, Emma found herself scrolling through online forums for postpartum support. She was searching for anything, any glimmer of hope, any shared experience that might make her feel less alone. She stumbled upon a thread discussing the benefits of virgin coconut oil for thyroid health. Intrigued, she clicked on the link. The article explained that virgin coconut oil contains medium-chain triglycerides, particularly octanoic acid, which can support thyroid function. Octanoic acid is known for its antiviral, antibacterial, and antifungal properties. More importantly, it can help regulate cortisol levels, the stress hormone that was wreaking havoc on Emma's body. High cortisol levels are linked to weight gain, fatigue, mood swings, and skin problems, all the symptoms Emma was experiencing. The article cited studies suggesting that medium-chain triglycerides can boost metabolism, promote weight loss, and improve energy levels, Furthermore, the lauric acid in coconut oil is converted to monolaurin in the body, a compound known for its immune-boosting properties. This could potentially help alleviate the skin sensitivity and dryness Emma was experiencing. Emma was skeptical. She'd tried so many things already, with little to no success. Could something as simple as coconut oil really make a difference? But she was also desperate. She had nothing to lose by trying. She purchased a jar of organic, cold-pressed virgin coconut oil from her local health food store. The first morning, Emma hesitantly opened the jar. The aroma was surprisingly pleasant, a subtle tropical scent that reminded her of vacations past. She decided to add a tablespoon to her morning coffee. The oil melted instantly, creating a slightly richer, creamier texture. She took a sip. It wasn't unpleasant, just different. She continued this routine for the next few weeks. 1 tablespoon of virgin coconut oil in her morning coffee, or on occasion, mixed into her oatmeal. She didn't expect immediate results, but she was determined to give it a fair try. Around the 3rd week, she started to notice subtle changes. She woke up feeling slightly less exhausted, a small but significant victory. She found herself able to keep up with Lily's demands without feeling completely drained. By midday, the afternoon slump, which had become a dreaded daily occurrence, seemed to be less intense. Buoyed by this small improvement, she continued her coconut oil regimen. She also made a conscious effort to incorporate other healthy habits into her routine, such as gentle exercise, mindful meditation, and prioritizing sleep whenever possible. She knew that coconut oil wasn't a magic bullet. It was just one piece of the puzzle. By the end of the first month, the changes were becoming more pronounced. Her energy levels were noticeably higher. She was able to engage with Lily, more fully enjoying their playtime, without feeling overwhelmed. She even managed to resume her daily walks, gradually increasing the distance and intensity. And then she stepped on the scale. To her surprise, she had lost 2 pounds. It wasn't a dramatic weight loss, but it was a start. It was the first time in months that the scale had moved in the right direction. She felt a surge of hope and renewed motivation. As the weeks turned into months, Emma continued to incorporate virgin coconut oil into her daily routine. She experimented with different ways of using it, adding it to smoothies, using it as a cooking oil, and even applying it directly to her skin as a moisturizer. She discovered that it was incredibly versatile and surprisingly effective. After 3 months, the transformation was remarkable. Her energy levels had significantly improved. She no longer felt like she was dragging herself through the day. She woke up feeling refreshed and ready to tackle whatever challenges lay ahead. The weight had begun to stabilize, and she had lost a total of 5 pounds. It wasn't a drastic change, but it was enough to make her feel more confident and comfortable in her own skin. Her hair shedding had noticeably reduced. The clumps in the shower were now minimal, and she noticed new hair growth around her hairline. Her skin appeared brighter and healthier, with a natural glow that she hadn't seen in years. The dryness and sensitivity had diminished, and the occasional breakouts were becoming less frequent. But perhaps the most significant change was in her mood. She felt more balanced and positive, less prone to anxiety and irritability. She was able to handle stress more effectively, and she found herself reacting to situations with more patience and understanding. Her relationships with her husband and daughter had deepened, and she felt a renewed sense of connection and joy. One sunny afternoon while playing with Lily in the park, Emma paused to reflect on her journey. She realized that she had come a long way in the past few months. She was no longer the exhausted, overwhelmed and disheartened woman she had been. She had rediscovered her energy, her confidence, and her joy. She knew that virgin coconut oil wasn't the sole reason for her transformation. It was a combination of factors, including the thyroid medication, healthy lifestyle changes, and a supportive network of family and friends. But she firmly believed that coconut oil had played a crucial role in helping her regain her health and vitality. It had provided her with the boost she needed to overcome her postpartum struggles and rediscover her true self. She shared her story with other new mothers in her support group, encouraging them to research the benefits of virgin coconut oil and consider incorporating it into their own routines. She emphasized that it wasn't a quick fix, but it could be a valuable tool in supporting overall health and well-being. She reminded them that they weren't alone in their struggles and that there was hope for a brighter, healthier future. Emma continued to use virgin coconut oil as part of her daily routine, not just for its physical benefits, but also for the sense of empowerment it gave her. It was a reminder that she had the power to take control of her health and well-being, to make positive changes that could transform her life. She was no longer a victim of her postpartum struggles. She was a survivor, a warrior, a thriving mother who had found her way back to herself. 5 years later, Emma looked back on that period of her life with a sense of gratitude and perspective. Lily was now a vibrant, energetic 5-year-old, and Emma felt stronger and healthier than ever before. She had learned invaluable lessons about self-care, resilience, and the importance of listening to her body. She had also become a passionate advocate for natural health and wellness, sharing her story and inspiring others to take charge of their own health journeys. The memory of that initial skepticism towards virgin coconut oil now brought a smile to her face. What had started as a desperate attempt to find relief from her postpartum symptoms had blossomed into a lifelong commitment to holistic health. She continued to use coconut oil daily, not just for its numerous health benefits, but also as a symbol of her own strength and resilience. It was a reminder that even in the darkest of times, there is always hope, and that even the simplest of remedies can sometimes hold the key to profound transformation. Emma also dedicated time to researching more about the science of thyroid function, cortisol regulation, and the impact of diet and lifestyle on hormonal balance. She realized that her initial struggles were not just about postpartum changes. They were a sign of deeper, underlying imbalances that needed to be addressed holistically. She delved into the study of nutrition, learning about the importance of gut health, the role of inflammation, and the power of specific foods and nutrients to support optimal health. She also explored the connection between stress and hormonal imbalances. She learned about the impact of chronic stress on the adrenal glands and the importance of incorporating stress-reducing practices into her daily routine. She continued to practice mindful meditation. She took up yoga again, and she made a conscious effort to prioritize self-care even amidst the demands of motherhood. Emma's journey of self-discovery and healing had not only transformed her own life, but had also had a profound impact on her family. Mark, inspired by Emma's dedication and positive changes, had also adopted healthier habits. He started exercising regularly, eating more nutritious meals, and prioritizing stress management. Together, they created a supportive and healthy environment for Lily, teaching her the importance of self-care and well-being from a young age. One day, a fellow mom from her local postpartum support group reached out to Emma. She had just given birth and was struggling with many of the same symptoms Emma had faced a few years earlier: fatigue, mood swings, hair loss, and weight that wouldn't budge. She felt overwhelmed and discouraged. Emma listened with empathy. She recognized the same frustration she once had. Gently, she shared her own journey, the small changes that had made a big difference: the daily tablespoon of virgin coconut oil, mindful eating, simple exercises, and better stress management. She offered encouragement and reminded her that healing takes time, but recovery is possible. She also emphasized the importance of seeking professional help and working with a healthcare provider who understood the complexities of postpartum health. She encouraged the young woman to advocate for herself and to not give up until she found the answers she needed. As the young woman listened, her eyes filled with tears. She felt a sense of hope and validation that she hadn't felt in months. She realized that she wasn't alone in her struggles and that there was a path forward. She thanked Emma profusely, expressing her gratitude for her willingness to share her story and offer her support. Emma smiled, knowing that she had made a difference in this woman's life. It was a moment that affirmed her purpose and strengthened her resolve to continue her work. She knew that the journey to healing and well-being was not always easy, but it was always worth it. And as she watched the young woman walk away, a renewed sense of peace and fulfillment washed over her. She knew that her story would continue to inspire and empower women for years to come. And it all started with a simple jar of virgin coconut oil and a leap of faith. Years later, Emma received an email from that same young woman. She was now thriving, healthy, and happy. She had successfully overcome her postpartum struggles and had gone on to achieve her dreams. She had started her own business, she had traveled the world, and she had built a strong and loving family. She thanked Emma again for her unwavering support and guidance. She credited Emma with helping her to find her way back to herself and to discover her true potential. She said that Emma's story had given her the courage to believe in herself and to never give up on her dreams. Emma read the email with tears in her eyes. She felt an overwhelming sense of gratitude and joy. She realized that her journey had not only transformed her own life, but had also had a ripple effect, touching the lives of countless others. She knew that her work was far from over. There were still so many women who needed help and support, but she was confident that together they could create a world where every woman had the opportunity to thrive, to live a healthy and fulfilling life, and to reach her full potential. Emma's journey wasn't just about overcoming postpartum struggles. It was about embracing a holistic approach to health and well-being, one that encompassed not only the physical body, but also the mind, emotions, and spirit. She became a firm believer in the interconnectedness of all aspects of life, in the importance of nurturing each one to achieve optimal health. She learned that true healing wasn't just about treating symptoms. It was about addressing the root causes of illness and imbalance. It was about identifying and eliminating the stressors that were depleting her energy and compromising her immune system. It was about nourishing her body with whole, unprocessed foods and providing it with the essential nutrients it needed to thrive. It was also about cultivating a positive mindset, practicing gratitude, and fostering meaningful connections with others. It was about finding joy and purpose in her life and living in alignment with her values. Emma discovered that true health wasn't just the absence of disease. It was a state of vibrant well-being, where she felt energetic, resilient, and empowered. It was a state where she could fully engage with life, pursue her passions, and make a positive impact on the world. And she realized that this state of vibrant well-being was not just a destination. It was a journey, a continuous process of self-discovery, growth, and evolution. Health 2660. Thanks you for listening. We'll see you in the next video, and until then, be kind to yourself.